Have you been thinking about making the move to Avondale, Arizona, and you want to learn more about it? Well, in today's video, I'm going over my home city of Avondale and talking about all the pros and cons. So let's get started. That's exactly what we're going over in today's video, but before we get started, I have to let you guys know I'm a licensed realtor here in this beautiful state. So if you've been thinking about relocating, please reach out to me. My number and email are popping up. I would love to assist you guys in that process. If you're not quite ready to reach out yet, no problem. Go ahead and subscribe. I post videos every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. And let's get started in today's video. All right guys, getting right into today's video, I'm really shocked, surprised that I haven't made a video about Avondale yet, considering the fact that I do live in Avondale and I've lived here before. And you would think that that would be the first place that I make a video about. There's so many pros, and maybe that's why I've waited a little bit to make a pros and cons, because it's hard for me to find cons about living in Avondale. Again, Avondale is a very widespread area. I'm planning on doing more of like a map style video for you guys next about Avondale. So don't forget to subscribe, because I probably will be posting that on Thursday at 5 p.m. if you are interested in it after you hear more about it. But first pro, let's get right into it, is going to be location, location, location. As a realtor, obviously, I need to be living somewhat in a more centralized area. I cannot be too far from, we'll say, Phoenix. I'm not a city girl at all. I'm a suburb girl through and through. So I don't want to be too close to Phoenix, but I also want to be able to hop onto the freeway and kind of get anywhere and everywhere that I'm trying to get, especially for my clients in the East Valley. So Avondale has the perfect location for me with all of those things in mind. I'm going to pop up a quick little map here for you guys so you can see exactly where Avondale is. I live probably about 5 minutes away from the freeway, which is super, super important for me. And if you are one of those people that does want to work in downtown Phoenix, or will end up working a lot in downtown Phoenix, Avondale will probably be a really great location for you as well. I live on one of the furthest West Avondale areas that you can live, but there's definitely areas closer. I'm probably about a 30-minute drive with no traffic to downtown Phoenix. And if you are in the closer areas of Avondale, you could be in a 20-minute drive with no traffic to downtown Phoenix. I would always suggest like double checking on these times, because Phoenix is a huge map. If you even type in Phoenix, it's like really, really widespread. So I'm specifically talking about downtown when I'm talking about like proximity to things, because that's where most of the businesses are. But just double check, depending on where your office could be, it could be a completely different time. So again, cross-reference everything with Google Maps, and I do help you guys go over, cross-referencing how to figure out how far from your work and how much traffic is going to be at 5 p.m. versus, where you live currently. Like LA traffic is probably completely different than Phoenix traffic. I would say you guys take like 1 mile is going to take you 30 minutes to drive, depending on what time of the day it is, versus here in Arizona, it's completely different. So I do dive into that in a way deeper way whenever we are doing our Zoom calls. So don't forget to reach out if you are interested in learning more about that. But I love the distance, because I can be in the East Valley within probably 45 minutes without traffic, which is super important to me. I do help clients in the East Valley, and 45 minutes is not too bad. And also depends on where in the East Valley. It could be longer, right? But it's way more affordable in the West Valley. That's why I picked the West Valley. And then also, I've just lived here my entire life. But a lot of you guys also picked the West Valley because there is such a huge price difference. But we'll talk more about pricing in the next pro. But location to airport, that's another really important one for you guys. If you guys do travel a lot, the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is probably about 35 minutes away. You can always expect like downtown Phoenix and the airport are literally like right next to each other, so there's not much added time on there, which is really cool. The only down part to the location, and we'll kind of get into that, I guess, with this next con, which is going to be the freeway here, is that I will be traveling on most often because of where I am in Avondale, and pretty much everyone in Avondale will probably be traveling on this freeway. The I-10 is a very heavily trafficked road, so it does take a little bit more time to get to certain places depending on the time of the day. Luckily, I make my own schedule, but for some of you guys who are gonna be traveling during rush hour, it might be a little bit too far for you. There are other locations that are gonna be a little bit closer to Phoenix, like Glendale, like Tolleson, like Laveen. Laveen's really up and coming, so that's a good area, but there's a lot of options that are closer. I find Avondale to be my favorite. Not too close to Phoenix, but not too far away, if you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Again, I'm not urbanized. I don't like urban stuff at all. I like my suburbs. Even here, there's a good amount of traffic. There's other places if you guys don't want traffic to look into, but that would be the only con about the location, is it's close to a very, very busy freeway. It's a positive and a negative, just like all things in life. I find it to be really useful if it's not rush hour, but it's really negative if it is rush hour. You guys let me know, do you travel during those like really busy times? Do you work from home? Are you a stay-at-home mom? I love to know more about you guys and kind of what you guys look for in an area to live, because obviously we're not the same person. I want to know more about you guys. The other thing about this location in Avondale, and not just like my specific location, but Avondale is a pretty widespread area, is going to be proximity to all the shopping that I would possibly want. I love, love, love that I'm literally 5 minutes away from anything that I need. 5 minutes away from Starbucks, Walmart, grocery stores, clothing places. If I want more clothing options, I'm maybe like a 15-minute drive from like Westgate, Cardinal Stadium, all of that kind of major shopping centers. If that's what you're looking for, then Avondale again is going to be a really great place for you. I am not one of those people that likes to drive very far, even though I am a homebody. When I do go outside, I need everything like within arm's distance, basically. There is the south side of the I-10 Avondale, which is going to be a much faster route to downtown Phoenix. They have a lot of shopping over there. They have quick access to other freeways. I'm going to do a video where I'm also driving around, just like I've done for the Goodyear series. If you guys have seen that, I think I did like a 3-part series on that. Avondale is definitely going to be a couple parts as well, because it is pretty widespread, and there's a big difference between the south side of the I-10 and the north side of the I-10 where I am living currently, but they also have a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go more into detail when I'm actually doing the driving videos, but let's do a con now. All right guys, next thing is a con. I don't find it to be the biggest con. Again, it depends on who you are and what you're looking for in an area, but Avondale is heavily populated. So if you're not looking to be around a lot of people, which I totally understand, I wish I could be that kind of person too. I am definitely one of those people that's like introverted, homebody. You probably won't get that vibe from my videos or when we meet in person, but other than my real estate people, because this is my passion, I am at home watching YouTube and chilling with my cats and my puppy. So point being, if you hate people, Avondale might not be the spot for you. You probably want to be a little bit further out west, or some places like maybe if you're looking for real rural areas, like maybe with a little bit of land, that kind of stuff. Tonopah, Whitman, let's see, Wickenburg is another spot. There's a lot of different places that might better suit you. If you guys want me to do videos on those, let me know and I will do that. But Avondale being super close to the freeway, there's a lot of people already living here. So you can definitely expect to have a lot of traffic, even whenever it's just like the main, like not even like the main road, right? Like I live, well, let's not say the main road, because that doesn't it's not very descriptive. Other than the freeway, which I already mentioned, can be very busy because it is one of the major highways here and it spans across like all the way from California to I believe Florida. So there's a lot of traffic on that one. But even off of the freeway, I live right off of Dysart. Dysart is one of the main roads here in Arizona, especially in the West Valley. Lots and lots of people travel on it. There's a lot of shopping over here. So it just ends up being very busy majority of the time. I can understand that that would be really annoying, especially if you're just going down to the gas station and it takes so much time because there's always so much traffic. That is one thing about Avondale, Goodyear, and Litchfield Park that you might see depending on where in those areas, because of the fact that again, people want to live where all the stuff is, right? Or people want to live close to access. Well, some people. So Avondale is very populated. If you're not looking for a lot of people around you, definitely avoid it because you're not going to like it. All right, next thing, pro or con, depending on how you're looking at it, like I always say for these pros and cons videos, is the weather here. It's not specifically to Avondale, this is Phoenix Metro in general, but I want you guys to be prepared for what weather you can expect whenever you get here. I'm gonna do a whole dedicated video again about like weather and what you can kind of expect, but point being is during the summertime, you're probably starting summer around end of April, May, depending on the year, right? You're starting to get pretty hot during that time. Probably can start swimming around that time too. Not completely unbearable, but definitely beginning to be summer. Then probably April, May, June, July, August, kind of some September, like half of September, very hot. Probably anywhere between 110 to 115. Obviously sometimes it's cooler, sometimes it's hotter, but definitely you can expect to be in the hot times. Now heading into October, it's October 2nd when I'm filming this and posting this video, and it is 85 degrees outside and it's so lovely. It is starting to become like one of my favorite times of the year. My birthday's in October and it's, you know, Thanksgiving is next month and then you have a bunch of holidays. Like this is like the best time of the year here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. So I'm super excited. You're probably gonna see, again, today's 85. I feel like that's kind of cool compared to what it probably would be. You're probably gonna see like 85 to 95 to 100-ish for the rest of October till like around Halloween is usually when I feel like, okay, finally it's like perfect temperature outside. Probably gonna be looking around maybe like 70-ish, 75 degrees as we get into these cooler months like November, December, January, February. Perfect weather here in Arizona, so I'm super excited. Lows going to be closer to like 50 to maybe 60 degrees during the nighttime. So it is like the perfect weather here during the winter, and I feel like that's what keeps people here is, yes, it's really, really hot during the summertime, but at least it's beautiful, sunny. I'm inside majority of the time anyways, and during the winter months, like every single person's outside. It's the best time of the year, so I'm super excited. Next pro is affordability. Again, this is just Phoenix Metro in general, but we'll talk more about Avondale and what you can kind of expect for the housing there. Probably average price point around 400,000, so not too bad. It is, depending on where in Avondale, could be more expensive. So 400 to, let's say, I don't know, 450 maybe is kind of like your starting range. Of course, there are some homes that are lower, and it depends, like, do you want a pool? Because that's going to be a completely different starting range than it would be if you didn't want a pool. And I could do a whole separate video about pools, what you guys can kind of expect here in Arizona. That might be a fun video to film if you guys really want pool information. I can do that for you, but Avondale price points are still really, really solid for what you can get and your proximity, right? Like anything closer to Phoenix Metro is going to be, well, not to Phoenix Metro, to the actual downtown Phoenix is going to be a little bit more expensive than, say, Buckeye. Buckeye is probably 25 minutes away from where I live. Obviously, if you work in downtown Phoenix, that is going to be quite a bit of a commute. So it really is dependent, but that's one thing that is a super big pro is it's still somewhat affordable to live in Avondale versus like Goodyear's pretty pricey depending on where in Goodyear. Litchfield Park is pretty pricey, but Avondale, you could still be somewhat close to Phoenix and still have an affordable option. So I love that. Lots of single family homes, things like a couple townhomes that you could probably get. Condos, not super popular around this area, but you have a lot of options when it comes to housing here in Avondale. So I Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, pretty please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out my channel and it gets my video pushed out to more people like you thinking about relocating to the Phoenix, Arizona area. And if you are wanting to get assistance on relocating, go ahead and reach out. My number and email are popping up. And if you aren't ready to reach out, go ahead and subscribe. I post videos every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. And until next time, see you later. Bye.